A narcissist, as far as I'm concerned, and you tell me what you think about this. So a narcissist fundamentally is someone who manipulates to achieve unearned reputational status. Now, so I know that needs to be fleshed out, but that seems to me to be something like at the core of it. Now, you can mimic that as a narcissist, right? You can make a show of yourself. You can display a confidence that would normally be associated with competence, but it's not real. But it's real enough to fool people, right? It's real enough to fool naive young women, for example. Yeah!
Like, I'm sick.
Oh, here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up. Oh, here she comes. She's a mad eater.
It's crazy.
Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up. Oh, here she comes. She's a mad eater.
What are you gonna do?
Let's take Gabriella as an example. She's a great example. When I first met her, I mean, that's all she wanted to do. Beautiful, tall, blonde girl, you know. So it shrinked and shrinked and shrinked and shrinked. But I said, you know, Gabriella, I want to experiment a lot of things with you. And then once you have this under your belt, then you can decide how you want to employ that and use that for what it is that you do.
I couldn't have been happier because right before he walked out, I said, you know, stay away from him for the first, 2-3 minutes. Just kind of get him frustrated and then fake low and come high and do that kick that I've been teaching you and kick him in the head or the face. And he did exactly what I said and exactly what I wanted to happen happened. And I was very, very proud of him.
And it's real enough to allow you to maneuver into positions into high resource positions.
And like you'll notice, he gets the same amount of views pretty much. It's consistent, although he must have deleted some there. But it's pretty much the same all the way along, month after month after month.
So is that in keeping with your conceptualization of narcissism?
I don't have to do this right now.
Selfish.
I am going to do it now to prove a point.
But what that means more specifically, more precisely, is that you're not going to...
I've already made my statement. I did lip sync. And it would have been really cool if comments that were made by really high-level producers and engineers and stuff didn't get deleted. That
selfishness that goes along with narcissism isn't really care for yourself. It's subjugation to your own immature whims, right? It's just not it's not like the narcissist's benefit.
Over here, and then all of a sudden it becomes gospel. But here's how the media works.
Okay, so well, we should also point out something that's worth thinking about for people too, with regards to being self-centered.
But there were a lot of times where he would do some lick expecting me not to keep up, and I would do it and then return it to have him replace it. The audience would clap for me.
Not in a productive way.
And then one day I was relegated to rhythm guitar.
That's still part and parcel of being a 2-year-old.
My mom was a really strong Christian. My dad said he was until he left her for a secretary, and I realized what that was about.
And that speaks to the immaturity as well, because like a 2-year-old is a creature of whim. I mean, there's a developmental trajectory towards exploration and integration, but fundamentally, 2-year-olds aren't so. And they want what they want right now, or it's tantrum time.
Fraud, exposed, it's over.
And kids are more or less like that. Some are very tantrum prone and some much less so, but that's still part and parcel. It's the default condition of the typical 2-year-old. But
at that time, the keyboard player was Patrick Bradley. He's the president of Whole Foods. By the way, Kat Von D was one of my students for over a decade. and Dave Grohl was her drummer on some of her stuff, and she was actually I was her vocal coach for almost a decade. And she's posted that online. She comes out and says it. Posted that online. She comes out and says it. I was doing music for film and television for 10 years. You can go to imdb.com right now, put in Ken Tamplin, worked on the X-Files.
You know, fraud, exposed. It's over.
Worked on Baywatch.
Just stop lying.
We're in all these big TV shows. You know, the theme for Ace Ventura. I could go on and on. And all of a sudden, it was the advent of me starting KTVA.
Check it out. Here we go.
The typical 2-year-old. But now there's another element of this that
2, 3, and.
When did you start the vocal academy?
So that's not the correct way to ask the question. Not the correct way to ask the question. I'm going to reframe the question.
Yeah. In all the bands I did, I taught everybody how to sing.
I could go on and on and on.
I'm more of a heavy guy. More of a soul singer.
you're opposing reality.
She was a mental case. Really? Lunatic as any human being could be.
I could go on and on and on.